Mistakes and how I think they're one of the most marvelous things that can happen. Only funny for you though, if you're doing the spit take, not funny for anybody else. They just have to deal with your mess. But I appreciate it. So now I would like to bring up our next storyteller, which is Ken Magee. Ken Magee, come on up.
Thank you. Well, I was going to tell you all a little bit about an idea I had to jump taking the leap. I was thinking of maybe starting a nonprofit agency that specialized in Reiki yoga while we were opening a group home, and we could have our masseuses train everybody, as well as some of those folks could walk the dogs for the individuals that are all members of the group home. But I decided I wouldn't do that. I'd come up here and tell you what I really wanted to talk about. And let me tell you about the leap I took. The leap I took was a long time ago. I was a young Ann Arbor guy, barely got out of high school and went off to college. And I took this leap and jumped into a career called law enforcement. That's not the leap that I want to talk to you about. I spoke to you all about that once before. I took this leap way back when. I became a police officer. Then I was a federal agent for many years and a chief of police. And what I found is the more that you stay in law enforcement, although it's a really fun career and you get to do a lot of exciting things and take a lot of leaps, what you find out is a lot of times you're fighting the good guys as much as you're fighting the bad guys. So what happened? I had the opportunity to retire. And I did retire, and that's when I took the huge leap. I said to myself, I'm not going to just have this steady income, benefits, retirement, all that stuff. Once I was eligible to get that stuff permanently, I got out. And I took the leap into the small business world. The small business world. Sometimes it's hard to get out of that police mode, though. For example, I'm hearing Daryl speak, and I'm thinking, thank God his house isn't filled with hand grenades and machine guns now, and they're filled with dinosaurs. But, you know, so I hear those stories, and I kind of think about those things. So what did I do? I took this leap. I ended up opening the Ann Arbor Magic Shop. And I asked Ingrid if I was allowed to name my business, and she said, yes, I was allowed, and that's not plugging. But what was it all about? Why did I open a magic shop? And I'll tell you why. Because for many, many, many years, I loved helping people, and that's what you do in law enforcement. But you also sometimes make people's days very bad, so to speak. So instead of putting handcuffs on people, the goal now is to put smiles on people. So I opened up the Ann Arbor Magic Shop. And what's that like? What's it like? So could you please stand up for a second? Come on up here. Hi, how are you? What's your name? Sandy. Let's give Sandy a hand. Sandy's another yoga specialist or whatever. Thank you very much, Sandy, for holding that. I'm just going to borrow a piece of your napkin here. Okay, so let's talk about what it's like to have a business. Okay, money. Money comes out. You did very well. Please have a seat. We'll talk about that in a little bit. So, you know, we talk about opening a magic shop and how much fun it could be. So the folks in the back, the Bears and the Bulls, might really enjoy this because they did say they were in the financial world. So let's talk about money a little bit. And Sandy, I'd like you to, from there, if you could please count out loud. How much do I have? One. A little bit louder so everyone can hear.
2, 3, 4, 5.
5 by anybody's account, right? Bulls and Bears and everybody else. 5 bills, right? 5 $1 bills. 5 $1 bills. So everybody says, hey, do you make a little bit of money at the magic shop? I say, of course I do. Of course I do. I make money all the time. I go like this. I take the 5 $1 bills. I go like this. Close my hands like this. If you could please tell me, Sandy, what do I have now?
We have $20 bills. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Exactly. 20 or 5 $20 bills out of 5 $1 bills. That's the one that you'd really like. So I do that little trick every now and then, make a little bit of money, and that's awesome. That's awesome. I make that money. But then again, what's it all about? It's all about helping people. So the Ann Arbor Magic Shop, and the leap that I've taken as well as part of my business model, is I do a lot of work for nonprofit agencies at no cost. But what have I found out about doing something like that? I'm out there trying my hardest, trying to make a buck, and we had how much? 1, 2, 3,
4,
4.
5.
No, I'm losing money all of a sudden.
Oh.
Now we have 4.
4.
Okay, but sometimes when I put that smile on people's faces, what happens when we take that leap? Go ahead and tap the money. Good job. We go like this, we go like this, and all of a sudden at 5, well, we're not making the 20s anymore, but we're still having a lot of fun, and all of a sudden it becomes the 5s.
Oh.
So, and these are 5s now instead of 20s or 1s. So somewhere along the line, when I took that leap, I'm not getting that steady paycheck. Some weeks I make $20 to up to $100, some days like that, and sometimes it goes down to $5. So I like to tell everybody this: when you take that leap, it's not always about making the money, but it's about putting the smile on people's faces and doing what you love. And thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Ken. By my math, he has at least $130 on him. So if anybody wants to follow him outside with me,